Welcome back to Confident Conversations, and today I have
Aurora.
And Aurora is someone that I've actually not really met before, but from her dancing skills, I had to get her on. I saw the talent that she has, and I thought it'd be a really great idea to get her on and to speak about her journey.
Thank you for having me.
That's all right. So you're Italian Colombian?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Born here? Or born...
I was born here, yeah. So my mum is Colombian.
Yeah.
She's from a place called Popayan. I don't know if you know it.
No.
And most people don't. So it's like, I always just say it's near Cali, but it's south of Cali. So it's like about, but obviously because there's no trains in Colombia, it's like 3 hours driving. And my dad is from South Italy, near Naples, just like a little town near Naples. So yeah, but I was born here because my parents met here.
Okay, in saying that, did you ever have so for me, because I was born in Colombia, raised here, I always had like a identity crisis, in the sense of I didn't really know who I was, or if I'm British, if I'm Colombian, what do I write on the application? Do I write I'm British because I've got a British passport, or do I say I'm Colombian because I'm Colombian?
No, I agree, 100%.
Did you ever have that? Or?
Yeah, I would say I did. When I grew up, growing up, I was always just thinking what am I? Because I don't really feel like when people say British or English, I know I don't feel English, but maybe British is like the right word.
Okay.
But I sound really English. So then wherever I go, people are like, you're English. But I'm like, no, I'm not. My mum's Colombian, my dad's Italian. Like all my family live in those countries. Only my mum and dad live here. So I don't really, it's hard. Like even on forms, you say, okay, Latina, but then I'm kind of abandoning the other half of me, which is like Mediterranean European. So it's kind of hard to box yourself into a category, which is the same for like if you're British, Colombian. So
yeah, I get that. I mean, for me growing up, when I used to say I was Colombian, I stopped for a bit. So I used to say, I'm Colombian. And then I used to get Pablo Escobar, cocaine, drugs. And then I got bored of hearing that sort of, that same...
I still hear that. Thing. Yeah, I still get that.
So I used to go, okay, I'm British. And then they're like, but you're not though, you're Colombian. I'm like, I can't win. I really can't win because what do I say to that?
Yeah. No, 100%. And like the other problem is, whenever I speak Spanish, people are like, oh, but you don't have a Colombian accent. And that used to wind me up so much because I'd be like, well, if I was born here, obviously I'm not going to have a Colombian accent. So then when I was like, I would say like late teens, when I started going out and going to like clubs and stuff like that, that would really upset me because people would like almost in a kind of, like they would say it in a way, like it was in a derogatory way, like, oh, you have a really British accent and like, it's not what a Colombian person should sound like. And then it's almost like you're lying about your heritage and it hurts because obviously it's like, no, like I'm so proud of where I'm from. And just because I have an English accent doesn't mean that I'm not proud of my roots. It's just, that's just how I've been raised and I can't really do anything about that.
100%. So 100%. I think the issue is we're brought up in such a way where we're taught in England, but then we go back home to our Latin parents, so we pick up on different things and different cultures. So my sister, ella, she sounds más paisa que quien sabe qué. I'm from Armenia, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Like, my parents do not sound paisa. I don't sound paisa.
Yeah.
But my sister's got the very strong accent of parce, como está? And I'm like,
that's so cool.
It's so annoying sometimes because it can get so strong and it's in your ear. But Again,
I do love a Paisa accent.
Oh, do you?
I do. I'm actually jealous of people that have strong Colombian
See,
accents.
I prefer caleño.
Oh, I do like a Caleño accent as well. I do. To be honest, I love all the Colombian accents. I even love, I love the way my family speak in Popayan. Like, it's so nice and sweet. You know, it's like got that really nice, sweet sounding. It's difficult. Like, obviously, my mum speaks to me in Spanish, so I've picked up some of her accent, but because my mum's lived here for so many years, her accent's kind of watered down a little bit. I don't know if you have the same thing in your family. So she doesn't really have your typical like Colombian woman strong accent.
Okay.
It's kind of like she has a Latin accent, but people always say they can't really pinpoint where she's from because her actual, like, obviously from like where she's from, the accent isn't as strong as like people from Medellin and stuff. So yeah,
I get that. I think it's the same with parents who have come here and been here for so long. But I think the hardest thing that I've sort of seen from them is a work ethic. I've been here 30 years and all I've seen is my parents clean.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they're treated though. That's one thing that I hate. People looking down at them and being like, haha, you're like clean and we're going to pay you minimum wage.
Yeah.
But I think that's sort of the hard thing for me to sort of see my parents go through and be like, we're struggling for you and us not paying them back.
No, 100%.
By succeeding. I think unfortunately, a lot of Latinos and a lot of people from immigratory backgrounds don't see what their parents go through to see us succeed.
100%. Yeah. I think I really agree with what you're saying. Like when my mum first came over, she had there was a period of time where she had to do all these kind of jobs. And she was working in hotels and really struggling because she was she was learning English. Well, she already knew English quite well, but she it's I think my mum's case is a bit different to other people because she actually studied English in school in her university, and she came here because she had a year abroad placement from her university. So they asked her, do you want to go to the United States or do you want to go to the UK? And she didn't want to go to the UK, to the United States. She was like, no, there's always been that conflict between South America and North America. So she was just like, I'd rather. Well, in the sense that I think Latino people kind of resent North America.
This is the first time I'm hearing this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think my mum was just like, no, I don't want to go to North America. Especially after everything that had happened in the 80s and the 90s. And I think she just wanted a fresh start, first of all, to just go to a different continent. But also she's never really been a fan. So she was just like, she preferred the British English as well. Okay. So that was one of her reasons for choosing the UK. And when she first came here, she was learning English in a college because obviously you had to have a study visa and prove that you're studying. So she was studying English, and at the same time, after a while, she managed to be able to stay here. She managed to get her visa and everything, but obviously the first jobs were always a struggle. So she really had to work hard compared to people that have their their parents were born here, or they have grandparents that were born here, and it's just generational wealth, or you don't really have to go out and start from the bottom and work your way up. So I've really seen her go from the bottom all the way up. She's now a school teacher. She's she's teaches in secondary schools, and she's been doing that for the last 20 years. And so people are shocked when she says that. They're like, oh, I thought you'd be when she was younger, they would be like, oh, I thought you'd be cleaning or doing something like this, the stereotype, you know? And they would be shocked that she was educated and had a degree, and she did her teaching degree here in the UK. because they wouldn't count her Colombian degree. So she had to do further studies to like prove that she could teach here in the UK. So yeah, like honestly, she's one of my biggest inspirations.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I think for me, it's my dad. So I didn't realize his story until he sort of started telling me. So I've always known my dad to work long hours, but when he first came to London, he came by himself and he got deported back to Colombia, and he was threatened by a police officer, immigration officer, and said, "If you come back, we're throwing you in jail."
no way.
Yeah. And within, I think it was a week or 6 weeks, we all came together because he wanted to sort of lay out the foundation and have like everything ready for us so we could come over. But obviously he got deported back, and when we sort of came to when we sort of came over, the same immigration officer was at the airport, but they didn't stop my dad.
Thank God.
Yeah. So I think knowing what he went through to save up the first time and come by himself, and then save up again, and we all came together this time, I think that for me is amazing.
Yeah.
But you don't realise when you're little what's going on.
So how old were you when you
2 months.
Oh my God, you were really
I was
little.
2 months. My sister was 4 years
So
old.
you don't remember really anything?
I don't remember nothing from my childhood.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't really even compare like how it was like living in Colombia compared to like living here.
No, but the times that I've gone back, like for holidays. So the first time I went back was in 2005, 6. I was bored.
Right.
Like time was going so slow.
Yeah.
I got sick the first time, and I was like, I really don't like it here. It's not home. It doesn't feel. It doesn't
Like
have
what
that,
you're
that
used
same
to,
feel.
yeah.
Yeah. But the other times that I've gone back, I've sort of got used to it. And I'm like, okay.
That's true. Like I've been quite a few times,
Mm.
like about 5 times in my whole life. And it's like, it doesn't, it's so nice. I love it. But I do feel like an outsider.
Do you feel, because I feel this a lot, like you couldn't leave England because it's sort of your home, away from home?
Yeah. Like it's a weird feeling, but because you're so, like I'm so used to living here, like it technically is my home.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like my reference. Every time I think about something, every time I think about like how things work, I always refer to like the British system or how things work here in London or like transport. And that's what I'm used to. So when I go to Colombia, I just find everything so alien. Also because I guess I've never been, like we've never really been able to go so often. Whereas like I know people that go like regularly, at least like once a year. Whereas like it's always been really difficult, obviously like the distance, the price of the tickets. So like, when I go there, I love it, but I just feel like it's a weird, I don't know if you feel this as well, but I feel like a stranger to my family.
Yeah, I do. But I think for me it's more, I don't like the entourage that will go with you everywhere. I hate it. You can't go out by yourself.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I go with like my family.
Yeah.
I don't really go out on my own. But that's also because I was much younger. So I think I was just used to it because I was much younger. But even now, I don't think I would really go out much on my own because I don't really know areas very well, places very well. So I would go with my cousins. But I think it's nice. It's nice to have, because I have quite a big family in Colombia. My mum's like the last of 9 brothers and sisters. So I have a lot of cousins.
Okay.
So that's what I miss. I miss that like family vibe. I miss having people like to look out for you. People that, you know, like you just wake up and they'll just be around at your house. Like people just, I don't know if they do this the way you're from. They just come into the house. Like You just wake up and it's like someone's in the front kitchen and like they don't even like, you know, it's not like here where you have appointments like, oh yeah, I'll see you next Thursday at 7:00. They just turn up, and it's quite nice though, because if you're not in the mood to go out or do stuff, they'll kind of motivate you like, oh yeah, this is our plan today. We're going here, we're going there, and they're all quite adventurous and stuff. So it is nice. I miss that side of it, the fact that you always have people around you and people are so friendly, whereas here like you can feel quite isolated, and that's what I've always felt like most of my life, that kind of like, I don't have a lot of family around me. Like I wish I was like so and so that has their grandparents, their uncles and aunties, you know.
See, I've had the complete opposite, in the sense of, so I didn't live much in Colombia, but apparently my gran was like the center point and everyone would go visit her. But I never experienced that part. But here, so I've got cousins here who I absolutely love, and we're very close.
That's nice.
However, when we were younger, they used to pop around our house, and we used to pop around theirs without like sin aviso.
Yeah.
So when Betty La Fea was on, and we were watching it on the Burnout DVDs, they sort of came around, I think it was at 8 p.m. once, and they said to us at 3 a.m., just watching Betty La Fea. Just for that.
3 a.m. is mad.
Yeah, just for watching Betty La Fea, that's it.
Yeah.
It was one after the other, and it was like, hello, bedtime, sleep, you know.
Yeah.
I go to school and that, but you know. But yeah, I always grew up close to my family, and I absolutely love them. They don't really get to know people in Colombia back. So I'm the opposite to you, in the sense of, I've got more family here that I'm close to in Colombia.
Right. That is nice. See, I'm kind of jealous of you now.
No, we've had our little fights and we've had our discussions, but I think that the beauty of it is, because we're so close and we're so family orientated, it's very easy to sort of laugh and go, oh, do you remember when this happened? And we'll have a laugh about it now, but back then.
But then do you have like the big Christmas like parties and things
so,
here because all your family are here?
So now it's just me and my cousins, and our parents. It used to be a lot bigger. Some families are more religious now, so they don't celebrate Christmas. So yeah, it's just me, my cousin's boyfriend. And we'll have drinks, we'll sing, we'll eat lechona, tamales, empanadas.
Oh yeah, empanadas. My favorite, buñuelos.
I'm not a fan of buñuelos.
Oh no, I love buñuelos.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of buñuelos.
Oh no, you need to try. Oh my god, my mum's friend makes the best buñuelos, and we always go to her house like around just before Christmas, and she'll always make buñuelos. Honestly, they're my favorite.
I think my favorite is
love them.
natilla, empanadas.
Oh yeah, empanadas.
Papas rellenas, I love. But yeah, I think for us, you know, so I said on the podcast recently that birthdays weren't as important. Well, in my family at least, weren't as important, because Christmas, we go big for each other. Birthdays are just like, happy birthday, here's un detalle pequeño. Christmas, we go all out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the same with your family or...
Well, this is the thing, like, because I don't have... Well, I've only got my mum and dad here. You know, it's always like actual Christmas will be like me, my mum and my dad.
Yeah.
So it's not really a big thing. But like I would normally, when I can, I try to go to Italy quite a lot because it's closer.
Yeah.
So I've been a couple of times during like the Christmas holidays, and that's nice because my dad also has like 7 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
So we have like a big family there as well. I have a lot of cousins there. So yeah, that's kind of that's really the only time we can all meet up as a family, when we go. Otherwise, you know, in London, it's like our little kind of small like nuclear family.
I prefer it though. So when the pandemic happened, I think it was for the first Christmas. I think it was for the first Christmas and the first New Year's. It was just the four of us for the first time. And I was like, I actually prefer this because it's more like, it's más íntimo. It's más...
Yeah. It's
like,
más íntimo. Definitely.
Like when they're waiting for people to go home and be like, yeah, we're going to open up presents now. We're waiting for you to like leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more intimate.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I've made a really close bond with my parents because like we are together all the time. So I think that's an advantage. Like compared to having like massive families where you don't really get to spend so much time with people individually. So yeah.
I guess so. I mean, I'm not really... No, that's a lie. I was going to say I'm not close to my sister, but I've gotten closer throughout the years. Yeah, she's one of my best friends now.
Oh,
now she is.
Now, is she older than you or younger than you?
Older.
Okay.
She's 30. How old am I? 30. She's 34. Gonna be 35.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so we used to have a lot of arguments and fight, and she used to hit me. And I'd get my revenge. That's what I'm gonna say. I'd get my revenge on her. But no, I think throughout the years we sort of matured and we knew that we looked out for each other in the long run and was like, yeah, there's no point in fighting.
No, exactly. Yeah. I would have loved to have had siblings, to be honest. Like
No.
No?
No.
Do you think it's better to be an only
hated my
child?
sister. I hated my sister with a passion.
Yeah, but the thing is, people always say that at the beginning, but I feel like as the years go on, you end up really appreciating the fact that you do have a brother or a sister, I think.
Do I appreciate... No, I do appreciate I have a sister. Because she'll go all out for me and she'll make the effort. And sometimes I'll reject that effort. Just because I'm not someone that likes to go out a lot. But she'll go, do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go to cinema? Do you want to go out to eat? Sometimes I'll say yes, sometimes I'll say no. Depends on how I'm feeling.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know what my life would have been like without a sister.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
So you just have one sister?
Yeah. Like, she goes to Colombia a lot, and it's not that I don't miss her, but because I've gotten used to her going, it's not like it's como un golpe fuerte. It's like, oh, okay, she's going on holiday. It's calm.
So she goes for long periods of time?
I think once she went for 6 months to study.
Yeah, that is long.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was planning to do, actually, because I did my...
Oh, what, for uni?
For uni, yeah. So we had to do a year abroad as well, kind of like what my mum did. And I was like, oh, I would love to go to Colombia for like a long period of time like that, just to see what it's like to live there. And then COVID happened, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too difficult. It was like a red list country, and
I don't
know if you remember. Yeah. So like just doing all the paperwork was so much harder because obviously you know how here the system is really strict and like you have to have insurance and all this kind of stuff. So I just ended up going to France instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have enjoyed the year abroad in Colombia, or do you think you would have got homesick?
That is a good question. I think I would have enjoyed it eventually. I think I would have been homesick at the beginning just because it's so far.
Yeah.
Like, it is so far. That's the thing. And the time difference. Because I mean, I went to France and I already struggled there because that was kind of my first time away from home, like living on my own. And I mean, we're like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So I can't imagine how it would have been like in Colombia. But then again, I would have had all my family there. Whereas in France, I don't have any family. So yeah, I think it's a contrast of things. I think I would have liked being around my family, being able to get to know them a bit better because like you can't really get to know people like on Facebook that much, you know. like actually spending time face to face with my aunties and my uncles and stuff, my cousins. But and also I think it would have helped with like the whole, with like picking up the language and like just like hearing accents and getting used to hearing different accents and stuff like this. So
yeah, I think for me, I actually applied to go to America for a year.
Oh, cool. What did you study?
I did admin.
Oh, cool.
And I applied to go Disneyland for a year. Yeah, worked at Disneyland for a year. I got invited to the interview, never went. Because I thought about it and I was like, I'm going to be too homesick. I'm used to being with my parents. I think for me it was more of a...
too much.
Yeah. I think when it came down to it, I was like, yeah, I can't do it.
But what, like, to do what in Disneyland? What was it?
I think it was a range of roles. So I think it was parking, like the entrance attendant, the ride attendants. I think there was a bit of admin, HR. So I think it was just a mixture of roles. A mixture of stuff. Yeah,
that is cool though in Disneyland. Yeah, I am a fan of Disney. Not gonna lie.
I've never been.
I've been to the one in Paris, and it's really good. I do recommend it. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I think the one in America is probably better, but the one in Paris is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's been a dream of mum's more than anything, to go to Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, might have to make that come true one day.
Yeah, like birthday present or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Why not?
Anniversary present.
Do it.
I might have to.
Yeah.
I might have to think about that one. 100%. So you are a dancer.
Yeah.
I have seen.
Yeah.
You do salsa?
So I do salsa and bachata.
Okay.
But mainly bachata.
Okay.
That's my main love. I love salsa. Like, actually, I started dancing salsa.
Yeah.
But bachata, like, for me, is just like, is everything. Like, I love the music. I love the dance. You know, I love the meaning of what it's about. Like the music. Well, I said music. Romeo Santos is my favorite singer.
I thought so.
Makes sense, no? But yeah, I do like other singers apart from Romeo Santos. But yeah, he's like, I mean, every time he comes to London, I always make sure I go and see him in concert. But yeah, like I started dancing 5 years ago.
Okay.
Actually, what sparked my interest was a trip to Colombia.
Okay.
So I went to Colombia when I was 18. So I was like, that's like 7 years ago now. I'm 25 now. And like, it was just amazing. I remember I had the best time of my life. It was probably the best holiday I've ever had. In
Colombia?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really bonded with my family, with my cousins. I was like a bit older, so, you know, we could talk more, like, because all my cousins, quite a few of my cousins are much older than me, like 30s, 40. I even have some like in their 40s. So I'm like the youngest, because obviously my mum's the youngest in the family, or one of the youngest. And yeah, so like we went, and it was like I just fell in love with the music, the culture, the vibe. Everyone just like always happy. There's music everywhere. Like you get in a taxi, they're playing salsa. Yeah. So, and like obviously, I don't know if it's the same for you, but like my mum used to always play salsa at home.
No.
No?
No.
Oh no. But yeah, my mum used to always play salsa. So like from a young age, she says I used to dance.
Okay.
I would dance to the music, and like she has videos of me dancing, and actually I started out dancing ballet. So I started dancing ballet when I was like 4, like literally like really, really young, up until I was 14. So I did ballet for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I've always kind of just been I've always loved dancing anyway. And then I went to Colombia, and my cousin was like, come on, let's go to this club with my friends. Like, obviously I could finally go to clubs. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And she took me to a Latin club, and she persuaded, well, her and her friends like persuaded me to dance. And I was like so shy. I was like the typical like English girl on holiday, like, I don't want to dance. No way. I'm not dancing. I can't dance. And she was like, come on, like, it's not, no one's going to judge you. Like, we're just here, like, with my friends, and it's all cool. So shout out to my cousin, Louisa, who got me into dancing.
Yeah.
And, from then on, I was like, okay, I like this. And people were giving me good feedback, like, oh, you're good. Like, you have rhythm. It's in your blood, that kind of thing that they say to like Latin people. And I was like, okay. And then I thought, there should be something in London. There is, I'm sure there is. So went back to London, kind of like started getting into like Latin clubbing. But it was more like the reggaeton side when I first started going out. So when I first started going out, I started going to like loads of like reggaeton nights where they would play salsa and bachata, but it was like the other room. The main room was reggaeton. And then after a while, I started to realize, like, no, I like salsa and bachata. I like the tropical rhythms. And that's more like what I actually want to learn how to dance. Yeah. Then I went to Colombia again when I was 20, so 2 years later. And then when I came back from that holiday, I decided I'm going to start doing classes. So I went to like some summer like weekender thing in somewhere in central London. And I started meeting like people that organize parties and stuff. And then I went to like my very first class then. And then someone recommended me bar salsa.
Okay.
And I said, okay, fine, I'll give it a go. And they were, I don't know if you remember, they were opening the Bar Salsa Temple, the new one. So there's Bar Salsa Soho that's been there for years. Yeah. I don't know how long it's been there for, but for years. Okay. Which is where I go to now. Like, I'm normally there like every Tuesdays. Okay. So yeah, Bachata Tuesday. So they opened up Bar Salsa Temple, and it was like, there was like the inauguration night, and I went. And then from then on, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to classes regularly. And someone said, oh, we've got this new night on a Mondays and and you should come. So I went, and I just like threw myself into a bachata class. And I was like, I want to learn bachata because salsa I know, and I don't really want to learn crossbody salsa. I don't know if you know that style. But it's not at all like how Colombian people dance. It's more like structured, and it's like a specific, like, it's a linear dance. Okay. So it's not our style, and it kind of scared me. So I was like, no, I don't want to do salsa because I don't really want to learn that style. But now I've changed my mind. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm going to do bachata. And I just threw myself into this class, and it was like there was beginners and intermediate advanced, and I just thought, this is not recommended, but I just went straight away to intermediate and advanced. Yeah. And thinking back, I was probably awful, but I felt good. Like, I felt like I was doing it well. Okay. And I got along with like the people in the class, and then the teacher was like encouraging, and he was like, oh, you should come, and, come next week and whatever. And, and I was like, okay. And I started to enjoy it. And then a few months in, I was kind of, I don't know, when you start something and then you feel like, maybe I just went into it like too quickly, and now I'm kind of losing steam. Like, I started feeling like, oh, what's next now, And then, so it was kind of on and off. I would go to some social events every now and then. And then I would say like literally, then obviously COVID happened and you couldn't dance. So that was bad. That was bad. I really felt that, especially the dance scene felt that really bad. So, it was difficult because you couldn't really social dance. People would social dance in the park and then get in trouble because people be like, you're spreading COVID and all of this. And then I decided, like, I think maybe last year, I just said to myself, I'm going to do this, like, it's kind of now or never kind of thing. Like, I'm really going to just work hard and I'm going to do this because it's what I love. I started to realize, you know, when you're just like at home and you're like watching videos and you're thinking like, if I put the effort, that could be me.
Yeah.
You know? And I would just find myself thinking, what is stopping me? Like, why am I, it was the doubts. I was always doubting myself. I'm not good enough. I can't dance like her, you know.
Are you introverted or no?
Am I what?
Introverted.
I would say I'm introverted, actually. I think I come across, like, when I'm comfortable with someone, I'm quite talkative and, like, I feel like people see a different side of me. But when I first kind of meet people or, like, in a party or whatever, I will be quite quiet normally. I'm normally, like, in the background, kind of just seeing what's going on, kind of just analysing situations. But I wouldn't say I'm the outgoing type. I would say I'm more introverted. Would you say that as well?
What about you? About me?
Okay, about you.
For me, I think I'm in a similar boat as you. I had a lot of doubts. So I got told a lot to start this podcast. I'm saying a lot by a lot of people. And I didn't feel I was good enough. I didn't feel like I was ready. I didn't feel like I would actually ever start this podcast. But I think once boxing was taken away from me,
right,
I was like, you know what? Let me just sort of see what's in the podcasting world and just try it. And 2 seasons in, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here either. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So, yeah,
it's really good that you just went ahead and just did it, you know?
Very introverted, but I'm getting there. I'm getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. I think I'm the same. I was really so shy. And honestly, it was holding me back, like big time. And then I think since recently, like really getting into this whole bachata scene in London, I've kind of become a bit more open and like open to opportunities and just like more like, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. Even though I'm scared, I'm just going to do it. And so like it's funny because I'll meet people in the dance scene and they'll be like, oh, I've never seen you before. Like, are you new to this? Like, how long have you been dancing for? And then when I say, oh, I've been dancing for 5 years, they're like, what? No way. Like, that's so long. Like, most people have only been dancing since COVID because that's what happened. Like, COVID happened and then people were just like, what should I do? Okay, I'm going to take up a new hobby. I'm going to learn how to dance. And then after, you know, all the venues opened again, people like just wanted to be, I think it was like people were missing that physical contact with people. So like bachata like just blew up. Like people were just like, I need to be around people. I need to like be close to people. And that's kind of the vibe. That's kind of the nice thing about dance. It's like you have the social element, you have the exercise element, like you have that also physical like touch that we all kind of need, you know, that kind of like the hugs and like also when you're dancing, you're like in contact with people. So that's what I really love about it. And that's why I was just like, this is something I see as like a permanent thing in my life. And I actually want to do something more with it than just going to like a club on a weekend. Like I want to teach other people about bachata. I want to teach people about the roots of like Latin music, about the roots of bachata in the Dominican Republic, and like, you know, how to connect with your partner, because that's the thing. It's not just dancing. It's not just moves. It's the connection that you build with the person that you're dancing with. And especially with bachata, because the lyrics are so poignant and they're always about feelings and like, you know, like love, unrequited love, and like nostalgia and this, and like amargue, they say, is literally bitterness, you know? So that's the thing. That's what I love about it, because it's the music that I would listen to anyway in the background when I'm doing stuff.
Okay.
It's the music I'll put on. That or salsa or reggaeton, one of the three. But normally bachata. Like that Romeo Santos album will come on.
Yeah, we're very different. We are very different.
So what would you put on in the background?
So I think a lot of people would think I'm more of a R&B guy.
Okay.
But I'm not. I think the people that know me, all the Latinos that know me, know that I go for Jesus Uribe, Jason Jimenez.
Okay.
Vallenatos.
I love vallenatos.
Música para planchar.
Okay, I love that. I do listen to that as well.
Juan Gabriel, I'll listen to. Who else would I listen to? I've listened to a lot of Shakira lately because I like her.
I do like
her
Shakira.
New stuff.
Yeah.
I like her new stuff. What do I listen to? 200 Copas by Karol G.
Okay.
That's on a replay.
Yeah. I do like Karol G. I'm a big fan of Karol G. I love reggaeton in general. Like, that was kind of my first...
Love.
Yeah, in a way. Like, that's how I first started, that when I was going out, that was the kind of music I would go out for. But now, like, literally all I listen to is bachata now. Like,
okay.
I'm obsessed, literally.
What do I listen to? Yeah, I listen to some bachata, not all of it. I listen to like Aventura.
Do you ever feel like learning how to dance bachata?
No.
No? Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of dancing.
No.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of dancing.
Okay.
You
wouldn't even try?
No. I've had lessons. And I did not like it. I'll only ever dance, and I can't believe I'm saying this. So I've danced once, really drunk.
Okay.
And it was the cha-cha slide. And then I did the
cha-cha slide.
The cha-cha slide and the candy.
Oh yeah, candy.
And
I love candy.
That's the only 2 times I've danced, and I was wasted.
Okay, so you need a few drinks in you to dance.
I need a lot of drinks in me, yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't even convince you to come to one of my classes.
Probably not. I'd go to support, but not to dance.
Okay. Yeah. But the good thing about the dance classes is, I think this is why a lot of people come to places like Bath House and stuff, is that you can just sit on the side and just enjoy the vibes. Like, just enjoy the music, just watch, like, have a drink. There's more to it than literally just learning some steps,
Yeah, I think in those terms, then I would go. But I just wouldn't dance. I've never been a dancer.
Okay. That's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a dancer.
Yeah.
I think I get that from my mum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I think it rubbed off on me from my mum because she likes dancing. She always talks about how when she was younger, she would dance salsa with just in the party, the house parties that they would have, the Christmas one, like any birthday party, they just put salsa on in the house.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like a cultural thing.
Yes, I think my sister got the dancing from my dad and I got the non-dancing from my mum.
Oh, okay.
And then I got the drinking from my dad and my sister got the drinking from my dad. So me and my sister can drink and we'll be fine. But when it comes to dancing, I'm just, you lot dance, I'll drink, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. No, I don't know, to be honest. I'm a bit of a lightweight, I think. So actually, sometimes I think I'm a lightweight, and then sometimes I'm like, no, I'm okay. I think it's just because I'm not someone that drinks a lot, to be honest.
I'm not a big drinker. I'm trying to stop this year completely.
Oh, okay. Is that New Year's resolution?
No, I think for me it was just more of a, I'm a little bit fat, let me try and slim down a little bit. And stop trying to...
a health thing.
Yeah, stop trying to get my cousin wasted because he's Muslim. But he would drink anyway and he'll be like, I'm not drinking tonight. I'm like, yeah, you are. Yeah. Me and my sister were like, you're drinking tonight. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if it's against religion. You're drinking. He'll drink. He'll have fun, and then he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm not drinking again. I have a hangover." I'm like, okay, cool. 2 weeks later, yeah, I'm drinking again. I'm smoking weeds. Yeah, he smokes weeds. I don't smoke. Never touched it. But yeah, it's just a thing where me and my sister like to push fun on people.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're like, yeah, I'm not doing it. We're like, yeah, we don't care. We're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like a force thing where we're telling you to go against religion. Just to make that clear. He drinks anyway. He does drink. But yeah, we sort of know each of his limits, and we drink, we have fun. Like I said, when Jason Jimenez just really comes on, I am drinking. I might actually add that into our podcast. Having a few shots beforehand. Un chupito. That might be fun for the podcast. But yeah, I think for us it's more of I'm more of a mum's boy, and I take everything I've learnt from her. And my sister's more of a daddy's girl, where the dancing, the drinking, she gets from him.
Yeah. I think, that is an accurate analysis. I like
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
You've got a necklace.
Yeah.
Looks familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Looks very familiar.
Yeah. So I've had this for a while now. I actually can't even remember. I might have to ask Vanessa if she remembers when I bought it. But yeah, this is from El Cofre de Maya. And it's a map of Colombia with like a kind of green emerald stone in the middle. And yeah, I just wear it like every now and then, just as like a reminder of like where I'm from, like my heritage, and yeah.
So it's funny you say that. Shout out Vanessa.
Yeah,
love you
shout
lots.
out to Vanessa. I've never met Vanessa, but I really like what she does. Like, I love her business, and I love the fact that she has like this small business that promotes
100%.
like Latin things and the Colombian community.
Yeah.
And I think also they support like mothers back home in Colombia. Like,
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what Vanessa does is amazing. I've had the honor of meeting Vanessa, and I've seen her once, and I've spoken to her, and we've done lives. I've seen her on her IG lives, and she's amazing. She supports the whole community.
Used to watch all her IG lives, yeah.
But something that you said about your necklace was what it represents, reminding you where you're from. That's exactly what my tattoo on my arm represents.
Oh, nice.
So when people go, what is that? Is that Wales? I'm like, no, it's Colombia. So people have looked at it and been like, is that Wales? I'm like, no.
Is that Wales?
That's not Wales, it's Colombia. And they're like, oh, okay. So
I need to see it. Can we see it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is really nice. That's done really well, actually. I like that.
One sitting. Yeah. I think that's the best tattoo I've had. I'm really proud of it.
It's really nice. Yeah. Love that.
Thank you.
Very similar to the... Yeah. They've done it really well.
Yeah. And I think for me, it was more of a... I never want to forget where I'm from. No matter how many Pablo Escobar jokes we get and how many times we get told, oh, cocaine, you can smuggle in this stuff and do this and do that. I think for me it was just more of a, I don't want to forget where I'm from.
Yeah, 100%. I think it hurts when people say these kind of things, but also I think like as long as you have your kind of strong beliefs and you keep clear in your mind about like how that you don't let these comments affect you. And I think honestly I'm just so proud of where I'm from that it just goes over my head. Like before it would affect me more, but now I'm just kind of like, I see it as, well, you're ignorant, because if that's all you have to say, then you just sound like a parrot. Like you're just copying what other people say. you don't really know the facts. You don't really know much else about the country, about its biodiversity, about, you know, how much a beautiful country it is. Like, it's like the happiest country in the world. You know, it's been rated that, I don't know by who, but, you know.
I did see that, yeah.
And, you know, like the culture, the music, how rich the country's culture is. And like, all you have to say is that it like...
I think what doesn't help is the documentaries, the telenovelas, the references people make.
100%.
So I think
100%. I think in a way, Latin music has kind of some Latin music has promoted certain things that I don't agree with. But obviously, because it's with a catchy tune, it's difficult to put that to one side, you know?
Yeah, I think that the one song that I like from Arcángel, no, there's a couple, but Arcángel has this one line.
Yeah, I do like Arcángel.
That always reminds me of Pablo. And he goes, something about money. He goes, he's counting millions. Y la mano le pica because he knows que un día va a tocar. I know the song in my head, but I can't say it in English. And for me, so I'm not a fan of Pablo. Let's get that out of there. I'm not a fan of Pablo. But I can respect that he's an underdog because of what he done. I can respect that he went from 0 to 100 really quickly, and he dedicated himself to doing it, and he achieved it. I can respect that much. And I think that's the mindset I have now. And I call it the Pablo mindset, because whatever I want to achieve, I know I can. Yeah. It's just a case of determination. But I don't agree with the killings. I don't agree with 100%. The murders, the bombings, the Avianca attack. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I think because it affected the country in such a negative way, it's like, I just kind of avoid really talking about him to people, because I just feel like people just they don't realize actually how much hurt people went through. And even today, how people struggle to talk about it because it affected their families like so badly. Like, you know, my mum's always saying, like, at that time it was like a nightmare living in Colombia. Like, everyone was on edge, everyone was worrying about when the next kind of bad thing is going to happen, literally.
I'm going to confess something that I've never said before. And I think my mum told me this. My granddad used to be a plumber. And if I'm not mistaken, he used to do the toilets for Carlos Ler.
No way.
If I'm not mistaken, and if I'm not getting the people mixed up, I believe my granddad used to do Carlos Ler's toilets and plumbing. Yeah.
Wow. That is, wow. My God.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, so many people indirectly or directly were involved. And so even if you didn't want to be involved, you would be involved just because of your profession, just because you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to make ends meet. You're just trying to, like, you know, make some money to keep your family alive, you know? So, yeah, even my mum would tell me, like, at one point, you know, especially in Cali and surrounding areas, like, everyone, you know, was kind of affected by this in a negative way, or in one way or another, even if you didn't want to be involved. So it's really hard, actually. It's hard because I hate anything to do with, like, drugs and this kind of stuff, like, because it's just so it really destroys people.
Yeah.
And, so I'm just like, I don't really want anything. I don't want to know. I don't want anything to do with it. But obviously, it is a part of our history.
Yeah.
And it does come up a lot.
I'm going to turn the tables a little bit and ask, was your dad ever affected by the Italian mob that we all know today? So like Don Corleone, who else was there?
Oh, like the Sicilian kind of mafia. To be honest, not really. No, not like how the narcos took over Colombia.
Okay.
I think, I mean, there were, especially like at the time, a lot of gangsters and people, because obviously my dad's from a little town, so you would know of who the boss is, kind of thing. Like in every town, there would be some kind of a gangster that would work for someone, basically. And people would be like, oh yeah, that guy's mafioso. Like, he's...
I think we all have that though.
Don't mess with him kind
even
of
in
thing.
Colombia, we're like,
but because these are small towns, everyone knows each other. So everyone knows, okay, he's kind of a criminal. Okay, he's kind of like, don't mess with him because he knows big bosses. So I think it was that kind of vibe. Like people in the towns know, don't kind of, stay away from that person.
Oh, okay.
Or
so
whatever.
It wasn't like Colombia.
But it wasn't really, but I feel like the difference is that they're a lot more discreet. And you don't really see much of what is going on. Like, it's all behind closed doors.
Yeah, Colombia's extravagant, to be fair.
So I think, especially like that time in Colombia, everything was out in the open. The shootings were happening. Everyone all over the world knew what was happening. Whereas I think there, even up until now, I'm sure people just do think, like criminals behind closed doors,
Yeah. You said you're Colombian Italian, right? I guess we were watching a documentary about an Italian that went to a part in Colombia. And he does like little documentaries. And I find it fascinating how... So he went to like a rough neighborhood. Nothing like you see on the movies, like it's a million times worse. People injecting themselves. And for me, it didn't remind me of you, but I was like, what a coincidence. Like, you're Italian Colombian and I'm watching an Italian, but a pura coincidencia.
Yeah.
It was pure coincidence that he just popped up on my TV and he was...
No, it's true. Italian. There's a lot of coincidences like this. Like, there's actually a lot of Italian people that are really interested in Latin culture. Like, actually, Latin culture is such a big thing in Italy.
Oh, is it?
Especially in South Italy. Yeah, like, wherever you go, you will hear, like, especially, like, in the summer when people are playing music out loud in, like, these open air kind of bars and stuff, you always hear reggaeton. Like, it's so popular over there. And even, like, the Latin dance scene, people dance salsa everywhere. People dance bachata everywhere, especially Cuban salsa, because I think a lot of Cuban people moved to Italy back in the day. So there's a massive Cuban community in Italy. So I think that's why there's a lot of crossover. Like, the language is really similar as well. Like, that's how my parents were able to communicate, because my dad's, like, he didn't really speak good English. My mum spoke good English, but she, like, they would find it easier to communicate in, like, Italian and Spanish. Yeah. So they would kind of mix up the words. And now my mum speaks fluent Italian. So they communicate in Italian.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. No, it is really cool, actually. It's like, it's so weird because I'm just used to hearing, like, these three languages every single day. Like, and always this mixture. It's like Spanglish, but then with Italian put in there, you know?
Yep. Do you ever... So I know when I speak English, sometimes I think of a word and it's like, how do you say it in English? I know it in Spanish. But when I'm speaking in Spanish, I'm like, that's how you say it in English, but I don't know how you say it in...
Yeah.
In Spanish.
Have you seen that meme? And it's like, when you speak two languages... but you can't remember them or something, and it's like bilingual or something like that. Like bilingual.
We are
literally, like I'll be like, I know that word in Spanish, I know it, or like I know that word in English, and then you're just telling someone the Spanish word, and they're just like, what?
Yeah. And it's the same in English. I'll be like, no, it's the same in Spanish. If I'm speaking to like my mum, I'll be like, and I'll be like, bicycle. I'm like, bicycle. I know the words. I'm like, I've got to Google it because it's gonna annoy me, and I'm like, bicicleta. Yeah, and it annoys me to a point where I have to actually search the word up.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'll get frustrated. I'll be like, what was the damn word, and why did it take me so long to
100%
to get it?
Well, it's weird because, like, especially now, I have to think about this a lot more because I'm training to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So, in secondary schools. So I'm currently like I'm in my first placement, and I'm teaching Spanish. So that happens to me sometimes in class, and I'm like, they'll be like, Miss, how do you say this? And I'll be like, okay, I know the word. I need to just give myself a second. It's just because when you have so many languages floating around in your head, it's so hard to pinpoint that one word that you need in that language that you need it in.
Yep.
But yeah, because obviously for years since I've started my like languages degree, like I've just had this mixed, all these 4 languages just mixed together in my mind because I did Spanish and French at university. So it's just like, you know, it's crazy to keep tabs and all of that.
100%. See, when I went college, I was forced to do Spanish as a entry level.
Right.
And I was like, but I don't want to do it. I know my Spanish.
Yeah.
And every test that I had to do, I'd literally be 3 minutes. Literally sit down, go in, do the exam, out again. And everyone was like, you did that quick. I was like, camisa, papel, gorra. For me, it isn't difficult, but I forget that other people aren't.
100%. 100%. When you're dancing, you break things down like a routine, a sequence into smaller chunks. And that's exactly what you do when you teach. So when I'm teaching, like, you know, the other day I was doing how do I use my mobile phone, for example. So we first start off with like the small chunks of vocabulary, like saco fotos and things like this. And then you go on to like doing reading and listenings and then picking out more information and then writing your own sentence and stuff like that. So it's like there's a whole level of like you have to kind of scaffold the process until you get to the end point. And then obviously some people will need more help in between. And that's the same for dance. Like you'll explain them the steps separately, but then you'll actually probably need to go towards a certain student to actually show them like how it's done, you know, separately, or like give them some tips or whatever. So it is very similar,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I used to wanted to be a teacher, but that dream died.
Why?
That dream died years ago.
What would you teach if you're a teacher?
I think for me it was always about. So I wanted to teach Spanish at one point, but that just wasn't ever going to happen because my Spanish ain't great. I'm someone that will stay. So I'll get confused with do you stay a lot.
Yeah.
That is my issue.
Yeah.
And when I do that at home, my mum will crack up and laugh at me. I'm like,
that was a barrier for me. That and the vosotros, because I don't know if you
I don't use it.
I'd never used that until I went to university. And for me, it was alien. Like, I was just like, what do I do with this? Like, how do I say it? How do I conjugate it? Like, but since then, it's just practice at the end of the day. But, yeah.
Yeah.
And being around Spanish people,
Yes.
Like, I've been around Spanish people a bit more recently, especially with the dancing. A lot of people in my dance group, in Grupo Esencia, are Spanish. So I'm getting used to the accent and the vosotros. It's going in slowly. It's sinking in. Like, that's the thing. You have to be around it for it to sink in.
No, I'm good. I am good.
No, I agree. Usted is the best. Usted is what I prefer to use. I actually never use vosotros when I'm speaking, but I need to know it for teaching.
Yeah. I think that the bad part about speaking Spanish, and this is just at my job alone.
Yeah.
So I'll get customers going, "Oh, Juan, I'm going to Spain tomorrow. You're from Spain, innit?" I'm like, "No, I'm Colombian."
I know.
And it's
so frustrating. Yeah.
Is that near Spain? I'm like, "No."
But that's the thing. Even the kids, they go to me, "Miss, are you Spanish? Oh, you're Spanish," and all this, and I'm like, it's so frustrating because they just assume straight away that you're Spanish because you speak Spanish. They have no idea about all the
other cultures, other countries.
That speak Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I had a customer who, when was it? Yesterday. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to Spain and Portugal. You're from Spain, innit?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Colombia." "Is that near Spain?" I'm like, "No, it's in Latin America." "Where's that?"
Yeah.
"That's South of America." They're like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to this cathedral." I'm like, "Great."
Yeah.
Like,
it's true. Like, they can't separate us.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you still speak Spanish, so you're basically Spanish. And it's like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
My roots are completely different. Like,
I think for me, in my job, I sound really rude because when people go, "I'm going to Spain, I'm going to a cathedral." For me, it's not that I don't care, but I don't know how you want me to process this information of, okay, you're going to a cathedral. What do you want me to do with that information?
No, 100%.
You're going to go see a saint.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I get you.
Like, for me, I don't know how to process certain information. Like, I don't know how they want me to react to certain things that they say. Like, if you say, "Are you from Spain?" I'll be like, "No, I'm not." I'll get it. But if you're telling me, "I'm going to go to a cathedral."
Yeah, I know.
Great.
It is funny like that. I had all sorts when I was working in retail. Like, honestly.
So for example, I get people going, "I've been to la Sagrada Familia."
Yeah, in Barcelona.
In Barcelona. Good, me too. And it's still not finished being built, but that's another story. But how do you want me to process that information? How do you want me to respond to you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to say, "Oh my God, you're going to La Sagrada Familia, or you've been? Oh my God, me too"? Or do you want me to go, "Great"?
Yeah. I don't know. I think people, especially in retail, you always find those people that just want to make conversation. I think
that's not me. I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Especially when people go, when things don't scan.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, it must be free then."
Oh, yeah.
I think retail life isn't for everyone.
No, retail life is really hard. And I'm still doing retail life.
Oh,
actually.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I do it 1 day a week.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad. It's what I can handle right now. Because it is tough.
Yeah.
It is tough. Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing 5 days.
I've mastered the just smiling through it because it's the only way.
When I used to work in Asda, this was a long time ago, my mum used to go, "You have them like cara amargado." I'm like, I'm not going to fake smile. My cheeks are going to hurt a lot, and she cracked up a lot. But I'm like, even now, I don't have that, "Hi, how are you?" I don't have that face because I know it's fake. So I'm like, "Hey, how are you? Do you want your bag? Do you want your receipt?" And that's it. That's as much as conversation as I go, depending on the customer.
But then here, you're really sociable.
Yeah. I think the pandemic helped me with that,
Yeah.
Because before that, podcast, IG lives, I would never have done, ever.
No way.
I wouldn't have had this
That is
conversation with you.
crazy.
Yeah. I was timid. I was very shy.
So,
very
like, what
quiet.
was the turning point, do you think?
So, 2021? I think it was 2020. My granddad found out he had cancer.
Sorry about that.
And for me, I found out on the 1st of Jan, just after leaving my cousin's house. So that for me in itself was tough. To the point where I went to feel sick. And I think it was a few months after I was like, you know what? The pandemic's gonna hit. Let me just see what I can do and let me put it in now, because otherwise I'm never gonna do it. I contacted someone who's now a great friend of mine, and I was like, look, this is my blog, this is what I write, this is what I do. She was like, yeah, this is amazing, this is great. And then I met my first mentor manager, Joanne. I don't know if you know her. No. And she saw my ambition, she saw that I had a vision. And then after that, from there, it's just been a uphill thing. And then I was like, I want to do IG lives, get my confidence up a bit. And now I'm doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. All from that one decision. That's it.
Just change your life.
Yeah.
I would say the same. All from that kind of turning point of, you know, I'm just going to do what I love and not care about what people say or what 100%. People think. And since then, also with the support, I think, of people that, like, you know, really, really just want the best for you.
Yeah.
That has really helped me, you know, like, because I danced for so long, but I never really had the good support system, and that is so important. And like last year, that's when my support network like became really close, and like I made friends with some really, really amazing people, and that just changed it for me. Like from then I just felt like, okay, I can do this. Oh, this person believes me. Like if they believe in me, then that means I'm good. That means I have something to offer. And I used to always love performing, but with like recently with the teams that I'm in now, like my performance level has just gone up, you know. Before it was just like, okay, I'm just performing in this team and whatever. But now that it's kind of like I've realized it's my passion. Like it's actually what I want to do. I really want to perform as much as I can. Until I can, like until, you know, because obviously it's quite difficult. So until it's possible to perform. So yeah, but like meeting people like my dance partner Andre, and meeting people like Julian from Bachata Tuesdays and like Tito's, and like I think everyone really knows him in the Latin scene. He's amazing. And just like some other people along the way, like I've really like just grabbed every opportunity I can, and like I'm just learning, and I just keep enjoying learning from people. And
100%. I think we've got to wrap up soon. I think with that, in saying that, I think the takeaway lesson here is pursue your passion. You'll meet 100%. You'll meet amazing people along the way. You'll meet people who are great for your environment, your community. I know you have. I definitely have. Somehow we found each other. I actually don't know how I found you.
I actually don't know how, but Instagram helped us.
100%. And I think I don't regret that. I think a lot of people will regret meeting people on social media. I do not. It's a great way to sort of find people, connect, collaborate. And it's if you pursue what you do, you'll find the right people. I think
100%.
I think that's what you got to do.
100%. And come and watch some of my performances. 100%. You need to come and watch one of my shows.
I need to know when it is. Tuesdays.
Well, so this weekend coming up, we've got Southampton, so I'm afraid it's a bit far. But there is on the 26th I think, no, the weekend of the 26th, something like this. Not next week, not the week after that.
Okay.
There's London Sensual Days, which if you're interested in bachata or salsa, you should go 100%.
London Sensual Days.
Called London Sensual Days.
Okay.
And it's an event that Julian's created, and it's mainly bachata actually, but they do put a bit of salsa. So if you want to learn bachata, I would recommend it. And we're performing there on Saturday night.
Cool.
So don't miss it. Grupo Esencia.
I might have to hook you up with a few friends that I know who dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, I think we are an hour 18. Yeah, we're good. We're good for time. And honestly, I think the takeaway lesson was just pursue your passions. Do what you love. Meet the right people. Take opportunities as they come. Don't be scared of them.
100%. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
That's great advice. Great advice.
Well, that's what you gave. So that's what you gave.
No, I agree. Yeah. Just like grab any opportunity you can. I think one big one is just be nice.
Yeah.
Like just be nice to people. Just be open to new things. And yeah, like if you want something, just go and get it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you
That's
for having
all right.
me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, guys. So I'll be back next week with another guest, I think. Another guest. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this podcast. And yeah.
Give us hearts.
100%. And yeah, just show the love to Aurora. Go follow her.
Oh, yeah. Follow me on Instagram.
What was your Instagram?
Oh, Miss Aurora Elisabetta. I'll maybe write it down because it's a bit hard.
That's fine. I'll put it under
Put it in the comments
100%.
section. But yeah.
She's an amazing dancer.
If you put Miss and A, it'll probably come up because it's not really common. But yeah.
100%. But yeah, go show her love, go show her support, and
thank you.
Go show what you can do.
Thank you.
Let's increase our followers. Thank you. See you lot later.
Bye.